Thank you for joining me on Project Tech Accounting YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how to post transaction from general journal to the ledger. And when a transaction occur, you will need to depict whether the transaction is a vendor transaction or a customer transaction so that it will guide you on how to post the transaction to the ledger. So in this video, we are going to look at the Logic Integrated Partners journal entries for the month of September 2024. And, I will encourage you to watch lesson 3 and lesson 4 and even lesson 5 so that you will understand how we interpreted this transaction. So today we're going to focus on how to post the transaction to the ledger. So here we have September 1st. Here we have September 1st, Logic Integrated Partners decided to start a new accounting firm by investing 250,000 naira and computer equipment with a fair value of 300 of 30,000 naira. So here um, the cash account, the computer equipment and the capital accounts are being affected. So first of all, this transaction is that the owner of the business invested some money into the business. So we are going straight to uh, the company tab and go to the general journal, then create journal. So we're going to say our source. You can use 001 as your source number. Comment owner's investment, and we are going to look at the account. We have our 1055, which is our cash in bank, and that cash is debited 250,000. We go down and look for computer equipment. Okay, computer. What's the account number for? Okay, let me use computer equipment. Computer equipment is 250,000 and 30,000 naira. Then the capital account, capital owner's contribution is now added as 280. So we post this transaction. So this transaction has been posted. So the second transaction is September 1st. Logic Integrated went and rented an office space with a down payment of 15,000 naira for the first 3 months. So we have prepaid rent and cash. So we're going to debit rent and uh, credit card. So this is a vendor transaction. So we're going to run. So here we'll go to vendor because we are dealing with a vendor who is a landlord who provided accommodation for us. So we're going to create a vendor, add vendor, which is let's assume that the person that rented the office space is Mr. Joseph. So you first of all create the vendor, then you go to payment and pay for expenses of so we pay expenses by cash. We pay from our cash account and we pay Mr. Joseph, and we're paying for what is the account number for account number for prepaid rent. So we can say rent, we can search. So rent is this 5760. So we can say it's prepaid rent and the amount is 15,000 naira. So 15,000 naira is the amount we paid for rent, and that is it. So we have 15,000 naira. So here we're going to uh, credit 1055 and debit the rent account. So we process, and this is payment. So we have made a payment of uh, such. We have made a payment. So in the next one we have office equipment. September 2nd, Logic purchased 15,000 naira worth of office equipment and 8,000 naira of office supplies, all on credit. So we have office equipment, office supply, and accounts payable. So here we're going to also do purchase invoice. So here we're going to run a purchase invoice because this transaction is uh, pay later, because we didn't pay money here. So we just run a purchase invoice that is yet unpaid. So we go to the software and create another vendor. Let's assume that this is the vendor's name is XYZ Limited. XYZ Limited. We purchase office equipment from this company and they gave us some days before we can pay. So here we have, we're going to run the purchase invoice, create invoice, because it is a customer purchase that is yet unpaid. So we are going to use the payment method is going to be pay later because we didn't pay money on that transaction. We have our vendor XYZ Limited and we can use 0001 as our invoice number, and here we're going to say office equipment, at a price of what's the price? Office equipment, okay, that is um, 15,000 naira. And the account here is office equipment. Then we go for another one, office supply, 8,000 naira. 8,000 naira of office supply. So we have, so these two now, we have office supply and office, a total of 23,000, and we're going to pay later. So this pay later is going to credit our accounts payable, while these two accounts will be affected here. So we process the transaction and close. So the next one is prepaid insurance. Number 4, Logic purchase 1 year insurance policy by paying 12,000 naira. They paid 12,000 naira. So what we're going to do is, since this is a purchase, we also create another vendor. Let's create a vendor for that insurance purchase. So let's call it um, Diva Insurance Limited, Diva Insurance Limited, and we create the vendor. Then we can be paid. So we can decide to pay it as an expenses. Let's pay by cash and through this, and that's our vendor, Diva Insurance Limited, and we're going to pay our insurance, prepaid insurance. Insurance, okay, so we have the account number for insurance, so we call it prepaid insurance. So the amount here is 12,000 naira, and we are good to go. So this is it. We have insurance account is being uh, paid through the our 1055, which is the cash in bank. So you process the transaction, and the next transaction is number 5, September 14. Logic Integrated Partners paid wages of 12,500 naira to a painter who helped them paint the office. So here we also do payment here, number 5. So wages, expenses, we're going to use wages, expenses, and cash. So we're going to debit the wages, expenses, and credit the cash account. So this is also a vendor transaction, somebody that came to help you and do a work which you paid him wages. So we go to another vendor and credit this time around Mr. Tony. Mr. Tony is the painter. Mr. Tony is the painter who helped Logic Integrated Partners paint their office, and we're going to make a payment of that is expenses of 12,500. So we're going to come here and do this, and cash in bank, Mr. Tony, and we're going to pay wages, expenses, which is painting, painting expenses, which is 12,500. So you post the transaction, and you go for the next transaction is number 6, September. A client paid Logic Integrated Partners 32,000 for a job completed. So here we debit the cash and credit the accounting revenue. This is a customer transaction, so we go to customer and sales and create a customer. Let's assume that the name of that customer is uh, SAP Services. SAP Services is the name of the customer, and they paid Logic Integrated Partners 32,000 for a job completed. So we're going to create an invoice. We're going to create an invoice and call it cash payment of into our cash in bank. That is SAP, and the customer job completion and that amount is 32,000. 2,000, and we are crediting the accounting revenue. So the accounting revenue is being credited, and we are going to debit the 1055 cash in bank for the company, and that is a transaction. So this is how you create a sales invoice. This is a sales invoice, and um, you are paying the money immediately. So you process the transaction and close and go back to the next transaction. Number 7, September 19, a client was billed 12,000 naira for a job completed. 12,000 naira for a job completed. So you can see that that is this transaction now is a bill. The customer has not paid money, so you are going to send invoice that is unpaid. An unpaid invoice, that is number 7, unpaid invoice. So we have 12,000 naira. So let's go to another customer who we also provided service, but he has not paid, so we only give him bill. So here we're going to use Mr. Frank is the customer, and that is sales invoice, and this invoice is going to be a pay later invoice because it's only we only send a bill. Mr. Frank has not paid for that particular transaction. Job completed, but he has not paid for the transaction. So we are going to say it's 12,000 naira, and the accounting revenue, we are going to credit the accounting revenue. So here we are going to we are done with this. This is creating of a sales invoice that is unpaid. We process it. Then we go to the next transaction, number 8. Logic September 30. Logic integrated partners paid for purchases of September 2nd. So there was a purchase in September 2nd involving um, 15,000 naira worth of office equipment and 8,000 naira of office supplies. So we're going to pay for that transaction right now. So we'll go to vendor and purchases and the payment. So since it's already an invoice that we have posted before that is yet to be paid, so this time around we'll go to payments and go to pay purchase invoice. So you go to cash and pay from here. So I think that's XYZ Limited. Is that correct? Yeah, XYZ Limited, 23,000 naira. It's an unpaid invoice. It's an unpaid invoice. So we are going to click here and pay the 23,000 naira for that transaction. So all you need is to click here and type in the amount you want to pay. So here we want to pay all the 23,000. So we can now process, and that transaction has been paid. So we go to number 9, September 30. Logic integrated partners was paid by the customer of September 19. So the bill we put here, this bill of September 19 of 12,000 naira will be paid. So we go back to our customer receipts. So we're going to create a receipt of that transaction. I think the transaction is Mr. Zap. I think so. Okay, sorry, Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank deposit. So we're going to pay by cash deposits to this. So this is the 12,000 naira you and you are going to receive your payment here. So the next transaction is September 30. The owner of Logic Integrated Partners withdrew 5,000 naira to pay for personal expenses. Here we have the owner's withdrawal and the cash account. So in this case, this is not a customer transaction, neither is it a vendor transaction. So we are going to use the company tab here and run a general journal from here. So we can see 0002 owners withdrawal. We can say owners withdrawal. So we're going to uh, deposit. We're going to this with owners withdrawal, and we are going to credit. Okay, owners withdrawal 5,000, and we credit the cash account, which is cash in bank. Cash in bank. So that's it. So we have this and this. We run the transaction. So we are done with running all the transactions. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to get your report and print your account statement. Thank you.